All right, welcome everyone. We are so excited that you are here to join us for our what we call our Ignite Hope event. This event is to share more information about being a compassionate entrepreneur and changing the world through Trades of Hope. And so we're so glad you're here. We're so excited to answer any questions that you have, excited to share our experiences. I am joined by four amazing women, and we are going to share with you just a bit of who we are, what we do with Trades of Hope and outside of Trades of Hope, and then some different pieces of the business that we find that are important for you to know to be able to make an educated decision. And so let's see, I will, first up we have Tamara, right? You're first. We have Tamara Woodruff, and all the ladies are going to, we have Tamara Woodruff, Beth Lucart, Sabrina Key, and Tracy Fountain, and they will introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves and Trades of Hope, and then you'll hear back from me at the end. So without further ado, go ahead, Tamara.
Hello, I'm starting my timer because I literally don't know if I can make it in 4 minutes, but okay. So hi, I'm Tamara Woodruff. I've been a compassionate entrepreneur for 2.5 years-ish. And I am now, I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom to two very energetic boys who are still awake upstairs. I can hear them screaming across the hallway. Whatevs. So here's a quick version of how I got started with Trades of Hope and why I stuck around for 2.5 years. So my very dear friend, Melanie Snookian, word to Melanie, invited me to host a party for her right after she joined, and I said no. I probably said no 2 more times before I finally said, okay, yes, let's do Christmas shopping with Trades of Hope. So I chickened out and did a Facebook party for that event. I didn't even let people in my own house. But because it was a Facebook party, it went on for like a week. This was before we got the memo that Facebook parties should be kind of short. It's like a week-long thing. And in the middle of it, I called another friend who had just been to India. She was on a mission trip, and she had the opportunity to prayer walk through the red light district in Mumbai. She'd gone in with somebody who was doing rescue work there in Mumbai. And what he said to her was that these women are here because they come from rural places around India and around Pakistan. They have large families, they have limited resources, and someone will come to their family and say, I have this great opportunity for you, my friend, right? I'm going to take your daughter to Mumbai. I'm going to give her a job. I'm going to give her a room, and I'm going to give her board, and she's going to send her paycheck home to help the rest of the family. And so mom and dad say, this is a great opportunity. This is an answer to prayer for some of them, except that they never see their daughter again. They don't ever get that paycheck, and they don't know where to find her. So she's literally trapped in the red light district in Mumbai. So this was not a Trades of Hope story. This was just a story from a friend who had just been to India, and it shattered my world. I Googled red light district in Mumbai because the idea was kind of mind-boggling to me. There were upwards of 20,000 women trapped in a red light district in Mumbai, and I cried for a week. And so then I said, okay, well, for those women in Mumbai, I can do this. Even if this is one party a month, if this is just scratching together, selling a couple of pairs of earrings a month, for those women in Mumbai, I could do this. Turns out I love this, right? So I was a naval officer before I was a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. And I thought I was pretty good at that. Raise your hand if you feel like you're pretty good at being a mom every day. No, right? Sabrina, good for Sabrina. Okay, Tamara does not feel that way, right? So this for me is something that I'm kind of good at, and not because I'm great at selling stuff, but because I'm a pretty darn good storyteller. And so turns out I love telling these stories, right? So this for me is a chance to get out of my house, leave my kids at home, go talk to grown-ups, and go do something I love that connects me with women all around the world. So women all around the world. This is my girl, Swamin. I rolled beads with her in Haiti So in October, it was an amazing, amazing trip. But this is Swamin, those women in the red light district in Mumbai. These are my girls. These are why I do this. And because I get out of the house. So that is the end of my allotted 4 minutes. But I'll be happy. I'll be hanging out to answer more questions. I'm going to pass it back to you, Veronica.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, I can resonate so much with what you said. I was involved with human trafficking awareness in our city, and that is a huge part of why I do Trades of Hope too. So I can totally resonate that. Next up, we have Sabrina Key, and Sabrina is going to be sharing about herself and just kind of the surprise blessing that she found in Trades of Hope, much like Tamara, but just in a different way. So go ahead, Sabrina.
I am Sabrina, and I've been a compassionate entrepreneur for 3 years, and I'm a work-at-home mom. So I have a part-time job that I do from home, and I also do Trades of Hope, and I've got 4 kids, so, you know, I'm busy, and it's kind of crazy town around here most days, but when I found out about Trades of Hope, I was really starting to be very mindful of fair trade and sort of thinking about what I was spending my money on and noticing that, you know, things were just so cheap in the store and who's making these products. And I was just really starting to think about that. And it was sort of preparing me for hearing about Trades of Hope. Once I heard about it, I was like, I'm in, because I want to do something really meaningful with the business skills that I've learned over the years. And so that's been just a really fun part. I really enjoy what I do. And like Tamara was saying, that storytelling and being kind of her voice, whoever she is in whatever country, including the US, is very rewarding, and it's actually really fulfilling and fun, and people really respond to it. It's been a really wonderful thing to build this business. But the part that actually surprised me, and I didn't really know I was looking for this, but clearly I was, is the sisterhood. I've never really been the kind of person who has a lot of girlfriends. I've never really felt like the need to have a bunch of friends around, but I have connected with people on a level that I didn't even really realize I needed until now. I was like, wow, I can't believe I've been living without this kind of connection. Really being around other women who have that passion to help others and to do something, that's like always been my thing. I've kind of always been a doer, and it really feels uncomfortable to know about some sort of injustice and not actually do anything about it. So now I got to meet all these other people that feel the same way I do. And that has been an amazing part of this journey for me, meeting a bunch of doers. And the founders of Trades of Hope, the other thing that just, as a person who's been in business, for a while and worked at different companies, the fact that they care more about people than they do about anything else is, it's just so counter, culture. I mean, that's not how our culture is. We're always putting business and profit and money, and but they have, in 3 years, I only have more respect for them. And the more I learn, the more I'm impressed with how they care about our artisans, and they care about compassionate entrepreneurs, and their decisions are always weighted on how's it going to affect our artisans, how's it going to affect our compassionate entrepreneurs. And so it's just, it's just like this big sisterhood, which sounds like so corny, but it's actually real. Trust me, because I'm not like the sisterhood kind of girl. So if I say it's real, it's definitely real. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a vision into kind of the type of women that you'd be associating with if you became a compassionate entrepreneur.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much. It is so incredible to be connected with so many women who are so passionate about justice and beautiful things. And so thank you. And yes, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but we tried to select women who have different kind of different ways of living right now, whether it's stay-at-home mom, working at home, another part-time job. You're going to hear from someone who's working full-time and then someone who owns another business. And so many awesome opportunities to hear from, how does this work in your life? All right, so next up we have Tracy Fountain. She is going to share a bit about her why, who she is, and a little bit about some common fears, because you may or may not think that people jump in and have it all together, but most of us start with at least one big fear, but usually a lot. So Tracy, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Veronica. My name's Tracy Fountain. I am in Madison, Wisconsin, and I've been a compassionate entrepreneur for just over a year in January. And just like the others that I've talked so far, I got involved in something called Dressember, which is an international movement of women wearing dresses in December to raise money and awareness to fight modern day slavery and human trafficking. Just like Sabrina was talking about in Tamara. I participated in that, and what I found out is that one of the number one reasons why people are trafficked is poverty, because they don't have options. And Tamara was sharing what happened in Mumbai, and so I was invited to a Trades of Hope Facebook party while I was participating in Dressember last year, and I was like, wow, they're doing something about it. And I was and I have 2 kids, and I actually have another business. I've nutrition consultant and life coach, and I've been doing that for 10 years. But I was kind of looking for something more that I felt. I love helping women locally, but the fact that I could, after Dressember was over, I could make an impact globally to help women was super appealing to me. But as Veronica was talking about like fears, I was like, whoa, I've got a toddler, I've got a 7-month-old baby, I've got another business. Like, how am I going to have time to do something like this? So time is a big fear. Like, how am I going to fit this into my life? And what I love about Trades of Hope is that I like to think of it as everyone can have a seat at the table at Trades of Hope. Whether you want to do this full-time or work your way towards full-time, which is kind of my ultimate goal. I'm getting closer and closer to that. To whether you just want to do one party a month. I have girls on my team that work full time and they're like, I'm just committed to doing one party enough. But we have to realize, ladies, every single pair of earrings we sell, every necklace we sell is creating a different future for somebody else around the world. So I love that there's no like time thing that you have to worry about. It's whatever you can fit in. And what I love about the flexibility of having your own business is I can, shoot a message here, follow up with a hostess, like when you have time to do this stuff. So you can fit it in and as much of it as you want to fit in your life. So I love the flexibility of Trades of Hope. Another big concern I had when I was signing up was like, wow, I don't really like sales. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want, I think other people are raising their hand like, yuck, sales. Even though we're selling it, I do have to say a couple of things about Trades of Hope in my experience with it, is that I am a salesperson, but I think of myself as a storyteller. That when I'm presenting these, I'm representing our artisan partners around the world, and they're depending on me to be a little bit more bold than maybe I usually would be in an average situation. And so it's easier for me because of our connection with our artisan partners to put myself out there and tell their stories. But just that little perspective shift that you're a storyteller, not a salesperson, has helped a lot of the girls on my team and even myself show up in a different way. I will also say that because we're a missional business and there's stuff tied behind what we're doing, there's women's lives that are being impacted, that there's more people that I've seen jump on wanting to support us than other home party companies. So be like, I would never host a home party, but I'm going to do Trades of Hope because what you're doing is amazing and they want to get on board with that. So that's just one thing to consider if that was one of your fears. You don't want to be salesy. And some other people are just afraid of, I don't want to bug my friends and family. And what I've found is that some of my friends hosted a couple of my first parties, but now I'm so far out of what we call our circles that I have 4 parties this week, and I don't really know one of my hostesses. I mean, I know her because we've been talking about, but I'm so far out of my friends and family circles that you just need one party to get out of that. And so I just encourage you to really think about the fact that people seem to be embracing this different than other companies because we're a missional business. And my friends and family love to hear about this. They love to hear about Trades of Hope and have been most of the time super supportive. But I always tell people, you're going to be surprised who is and isn't supportive. So don't let that be the factor. If even, like, I have some really close friends that have never even asked me any questions about Trades of Hope, and that's okay, because it might not be for everybody, but it is for a lot of people. So those are just some quick things, I think, fears that I commonly hear from people, but I know my time is up too. So I wanted to pass it on to Beth, who's going to tell you some more. Or back to Veronica.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can just take it away, Beth. Beth is actually going to share a bit about some business basics. And so she's going to cover just some of the, some of the details of starting your business with Trades of Hope. So go ahead, Beth.
Hey everybody, I'm Beth Lukehart. I want to share just a little bit about how and why I got started with Trades of Hope. So Trades of Hope came to me can you still hear me? Trades of Hope came to me at a really interesting time in my life where we had been through some unrest with my son's school district, and it turned into this huge, disgusting mess, and there were legal issues. So we ended up pulling him out of school and enrolling him in private school. Well, I am a full-time working mom. I'm a full-time dental hygienist, and we have been so blessed to find this private school, but one thing we were not planning on was private school tuition. That was not something that we had planned for ahead of time. So in the meantime, I ended up taking on a second job, working another day a week, and there went my time for service, and it just devastated me because in that extra day a week, I had been working in the Open Door Food Kitchen. I had been serving communion to the homebound. I had been working with my kids' schools, and I just really felt that lack of time for service in a huge way in my heart. So a friend of mine had invited me to an online Trades of Hope party, and I had never heard of it before. And so I was doing all this Googling and researching and, is this legit? I was looking all of these questions up beforehand. So by the time the party started, I was drilling this girl. I was like, I want to know everything, every detail, everything. And she posted this beautiful video, and you may have seen it. It would be titled Trades of Hope promo video. And if you've had a chance to click on over to YouTube and watch it, what happened was I was sitting in my living room at like 9:30 at night watching this, and my husband comes home, and I am ugly cry bawling, ooh, and he's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, there's babies and their mamas, and I just need your credit card. And I knew at that moment that if I spent $99 and I could keep one child with their mama, that I had done my life's work. Forget going and, having to, put feet on the pavement. This was something that I could do in that moment to really make a huge difference. And I never had any idea before that I would be able to do something like that. I didn't go after this looking for another job because, like I said, I already work a lot. I didn't go after this looking for extra money because, like I said, I wasn't planning on soliciting to my friends and family. But what I saw was the ability to be on a perpetual mission trip. And just knowing that I could do that like on a Sunday night or a Saturday morning or a Tuesday evening or at a coffee shop or at a Bible study, and that I could do so much good in my own time, that's what really meant a lot to me. So as time has gone on, I've actually been able to quit my second job. Woo! So Trades of Hope has become so much bigger than I could have ever imagined that it would. Because once I started, like Tamara said, you don't have to be a salesperson, just a storyteller. So once I started telling these stories and realizing the potential that was there, I went to our first retreat and I got to meet all of these women who were building their own businesses, and this is what they're doing. And so they're doing Trades of Hope full time. And I was like, that's so cool. I wish I could do this full time. And I was like, man, why can't I? Why can't I make this a bigger part of my life? And so it really has been amazing as a full-time working mom to still be able to have time for service and to even be able to leave that second job and still be able to afford comfortably my son's tuition. So it's been awesome. I want to tell you, though, that along the way, I've been able to do some really cool things, such as things that you're going to be able to do too, such as donating baby chicks to families in Africa, donating a month's worth of food to a child in an orphanage in Haiti, donating a water wheel to a woman in India, donating a bike to a girl in Cambodia, and even school tuition to a girl in Haiti. That's part of our Smart Start program, and that's just one of the ways that the company really honors us as compassionate entrepreneurs and our artisans and their families as individuals. That's something that every new compassionate entrepreneur has an opportunity to do, and it's so beautiful the way they walk us through it. We have access to an app. We have online training tools and toolboxes and different ways to be able to track. And then you'll have a relationship with your sponsor too, where she can really help you through and keep you accountable and help you reach those goals. Those are amazing goals, and they're not always for everyone, which is okay because you get to set your own goals with Trades of Hope. Like I said, my goal was to spend $99 and buy a kit and maybe tell a couple people about it. So I didn't start out wanting to do the Smart Start, but it just grew and grew and grew. It took on a life of its own. But knowing that I was able to set my own goals and that there weren't those expectations out of the gate of me, that actually gave me the confidence to be able to succeed with that. Right now, we actually have an opportunity where if you host a party, you can join for only $24, which is amazing. $24 is going to get you a Pure Love bracelet, a Haiti bracelet. That's the one made out of the cereal boxes, as well as all of the access to the business tools, supplies, and support that you will need. And then you can use any other Hostess rewards you may have to build your kit yourself, to really build it custom, which is awesome. You'll start earning commission immediately at 25%, and as soon as you get your first sale, you'll see that money appear in your back office. There's so many cool things as far as the ins and outs of this, and that's just kind of a brief overview. But if you have any specific questions, feel free to ask any of us or drop it in the chat box, and we'll be glad to get it answered for you. Back to you, V.
Thank you so much, Beth. That was great. It's been so fun to hear. All of us are on different teams within our big team, and so it's really fun because you're getting to hear from different voices and different teams and different experiences. And yeah, I just appreciate all of you sharing, so thank you all. And we want to take some time to do some Q&A. So if you have a question, you can either put it in the chat box or feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask it live. And so if any of you gals who Tracy, Sabrina, Tamara, or Beth, if you see any questions, feel free to just hop in and unmute yourselves and we can chat about some of those. This is a little bit more casual time, so let's. So one question, let's see, can busy women do this? I think a couple of you kind of hit on that, didn't you? So Sabrina mentioned she has 4 kids. She works part-time and she does Trades of Hope. Tracy has another business. Tamara's got kids at home. That is a whole different kind of busy. And then Beth works full-time, yes. And she used to have a part-time job, work full-time, and do Trades of Hope. And so I think, and then I didn't mention what I do, but I am a stay-at-home and Tamara does homeschool as well. So I stay at home. I have 3 boys, 10, 6, and 1 almost 2. That this age is so busy because he's all over everything. And so yes, busy women can definitely do this because you fit it in when you can. And a couple of the gals mentioned that you fit it in the spaces of your life where you can, and you'll find that whether it is 10 minutes one day, an hour a different day, you can make it work what works for your schedule. Does anyone else see any other questions that we can hit on?
I was just going to say, is there any woman that's not busy?
Yeah. Beth, were you going to say something?
Yeah. So the question of how many catalogs are there per year, or are there product changes? That's a great question too, because we actually have typically 4 product introductions per year, or 3 and a small one. So we have our 2 big ones are spring and fall, and that's where we really introduce a lot of the new and exciting pieces. But then we also have a summer and then a limited winter edition as well. So our product development team is constantly working with our artisan groups, watching the trends, looking to see what's on point, and making sure that the items look fresh and that our artisans will stay sustainable by having the turnover in the product. So yes, 4 different product launches in a year. And then sometimes too, we have little surprise pieces. Like right now we have this cool bracelet from Kenya, and then a really neat crystal necklace from Asia. And those can be found in our marketplace, and they are limited edition pieces. So there is always something new to look for in Trades of Hope.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Let's see. I know one question that comes up a lot is about, our relationship with the artisans, and have you ever met an artisan or anything like that? And one of the really cool things that Trades of Hope does is, and to me, this speaks volumes as far as transparency and legitimacy of the company, and really gave me a lot of confidence in Trades of Hope as a company, was this, we have at our annual retreats, we always have artisans and artisan group leaders and representatives who come to retreat and speak to us, and then we can meet them. I love that not only are we hearing from someone from the stage, but we actually get a chance to talk to them face to face. And so there's not this big wall of, nope, you can't talk to them. There's nothing that is being hidden there. We actually have these things called vision trips, and artists, compassionate entrepreneurs get to go. And right now we're going to Haiti this year. And so you get to go meet the artisans that we partner with, talk to them. And again, there's no buffer. You get to chat with them one-on-one and tell them about your story, hear about their story, see the direct impact. So there is this beautiful connection, this beautiful one-on-one relationship opportunity that you do have in these little touches to see the direct impact of the work that you do. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I just love, again, to me, it just speaks so much about the transparency of the company. Anybody else want to hit on anything before we wrap up?
I think a good one that always comes up is, are there like monthly minimums that you have to sell?
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really loved about Trades of Hope, because when I first got involved, I was working full time and I had a pretty demanding job. And so there's no, monthly minimum you have to make. You don't have to order something yourself and have a reoccurring order or anything. You have to sell one product or one item every 6 months to remain active, which I think in any kind of direct sales company is really, really low. But it gives you a lot of freedom, and so that's a really common question that I get about that. And then the other thing is, are there reoccurring fees? So we do have a replicated website, and it's called the Hope Marketing Portal, and it's like an email, a marketing email that you can take advantage of, and that's $13.95 a month. It is elective, so the first 30 days you get it for free, and if you don't want to have that reoccurring charge, you can put it on hold, or you can cancel it if you want. So that's it. I think a lot of it's a lot of freedom in this job. You really, like Beth was saying, you make your own goals and you make your own choices, which is kind of what we're all about, giving women freedom. So those are 2 really common questions I get.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Does anybody have anything else before we wrap it up? There you go.
The only other thing I thought we might touch on is, how much do the artisans make? I feel like that is a really super question. And that is one that seems to come across a lot. One thing that I love is, since we are not a charity, we're a sustainable business, our artisans are not necessarily paid a percentage of what we create. It's nothing that's like an across the board, we're going to donate this percentage, because it's not a donation. It's a sustainable business, and we want to keep them sustainable and make sure that we are honoring what the Fair Trade Federation puts forward as far as the standards and everything. So our artisans are actually paid 100% ahead of time. So by the time you're wearing your beautiful products, our artisans have already been paid. What they do is they look at the products together with our product development team, and if the market can sustain that piece and they think it'll sell well, then they talk about what kind of price will do well for the artisans, what will bode well for them. They take into consideration the overhead of paying their employees and just day-to-day operations and materials and things like that. Typically, the artisans make 3 to 6 times more through Trades of Hope than they would in their home country. And one thing I love about the way that they're paid ahead of time is, when we have a sale, or when you have a hostess who earns like $200 in free products, which happens, they don't have to feel bad about taking the discount, or if we have a Black Friday sale or whatever, you don't have to worry about paying less, because that's not money out of the artisan's pocket, because they have already been paid and taken care of ahead of time. So that's something that I found really important whenever I was looking into this in the first place.
Yes, that was actually one of my first questions. When I heard about Trades of Hope, I'm like, how much do the artisans make? And then I went home and Googled, is Trades of Hope a scam? And you know what? I've been doing this for 4 years almost. Next month will be 4 years. And the more I get to know the company, the more I love it. And the more I get to know the leadership, the more confidence I have in it. So I would say decide for yourself. But thank you so much for watching this. If you're watching the recording, we will have an opportunity. You can put questions in the chat and the comments, and we will continue to answer these throughout the week. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us. Make an educated decision. We hope that you're going to join us, because this work has changed our lives, and it is literally changing lives around the world. I had an opportunity to go last month to Haiti and to meet some of our partners, to sit with them, to talk with them, and to see the direct impact of what we're doing. And you know what? They want more orders. And so you get to be part of that. You get to be part of sharing what we're doing with Trades of Hope, and then inviting more people in, so that more people hear, more people buy, and then we get to send more orders to Haiti. So thank you so much again. Thanks, ladies, for sharing your input and being yourselves. I love y'all. And if you have any questions, again, put them in the comments, or if you're still on here, you can put them in the chat. We'll stay on for just a minute after I stop the recording. But yeah, thanks. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.